Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining today, your tree specialist and beyond. It's Anna Healy. The official title, Anna.
Urban forester and naturalist.
Yeah, I would have never got that.
That's okay.
I probably should have asked you, so I write it down to actually say it right, but.
That's all right.
Trees and beyond.
That's,
I like it.
I'll change my name. I'll change the name in the IT.
No, you're going to be like, we're going to talk after we're done with the segment on my, yeah. Thank you so much for being back here. Busy time of season for you, so we appreciate the time. And as we roll in to the spring, we're thinking Arbor Day, so perfect timing here as we're a few weeks away from that. But some big things have happened.
Yes.
And it happened because of work in previous years leading up to this, but the big one that just had come out recently was the City of Fitchburg was awarded the Tree City of the World.
Yes.
Not the state, not the county, not the world. Number 2, second in the state.
Yes.
Pretty incredible.
40th in the world, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How special is this to you, to have this, award be handed out to the City of Fitchburg?
It's pretty cool. It's one of the things that we were hoping to apply for a lot of years, and we just didn't have enough of the criteria accomplished. And what pushed us over the edge was getting the tree preservation ordinance passed last year, and also last December we did the tree inventory update, which you covered, which was great. And those two pieces put us over the edge, and we were able to get the designation. So I was really pleased with that.
And the work that goes into that, why did we want to do these things in general? Just, because you're like, well, it's an award. Well, great, we did some things, you got an award. But it's actually really important, the things that were done, especially in the tree survey.
Yes, it is. So one thing just to note is if you have those designations, Tree City of the World, Tree City USA is good, but if you are Tree City of the World, you get more points on grants. So it's a nice leg up if we apply for grants, which we try to do, right? Mm-hmm. So it makes sense from that standpoint. And also the tree survey was really key because it allowed us to really look at, okay, what species do we have out there, what's doing well, what's not doing well, and it can guide our management decisions. And I really appreciate just having the information and knowing, okay, you know what, we need to put resources in specific places, and we're already using that. We're already really able to be more efficient with our work because we know we have a better picture of what's out there and what needs attention and why.
I was going to say, ultimately, like when you're planning for those big, each year you do a spring tree planting, a massive tree planting.
Yes.
I mean, this gives you the leg up of like, all right, well, I know in this area, these trees are probably on their way out, unfortunately, or, something big event happens, we can actually document it based on what we have documented on, hey, these are gone now we got to do something.
Exactly. No, you're 100% right on. So it really helps us with our management and to be proactive and smart and plan for things and budget for things so we don't have surprises and we don't have budget spikes. For example, the DNR is updating NR 40, which is the invasive species rule, and there is a tree on there that we have planted in the past, Calorie pear, that we're probably going to want to remove because now it's going to probably be considered invasive. In the past, it wasn't considered invasive in Wisconsin because our winters were too cold. That's really no longer the case for whatever reason. And I did actually see some Calorie pear volunteers that must have come from our trees that we planted. So in that inventory is going to tell us exactly where those trees are. We can look at them, see what's blooming, what's not, which ones we need to take out, and all of that just to prevent, having to deal with all of that invasive shrubs later on. So we're really, I'm super grateful to have that information, and I'm super grateful to be able to use it to make our operation that much more efficient.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I got to see something from the GIS side of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible to look at, which you can check out online at our website at fitchburgwi.gov.
Yes.
But we'll save that for another time. We could just have a whole segment in what happened in that, but maybe we should do a follow-up eventually.
That'd be fine.
After you get your trees planted.
That would be great.
When you have a slow time. When is that? Don't answer that question. Let's talk about the Growth Award, because not only did we get the Tree City of the World, but the Growth Award comes in because, again, great work that happened last year. This time, I remember all these volunteers coming out and helping us out with planting some trees. Well, we got acknowledgement of their work.
You did, yes, absolutely. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. So we have an awesome group of volunteers that really care about trees, and last year was a drought year. We really struggled with watering. We had a lot of volunteers who did a tremendous amount of work watering trees, and really it was a twofold thing. They were watering trees, they were also mulching trees, they were also telling me, hey, this tree needs to be tree pruned. They were kind of our eyes and ears out there, which was super helpful. They also identified different planting spaces. We did a very nice tree planting, shrub planting in Chicory Meadows, mostly volunteer driven. You know, we provided the nursery stock. They did all the planting, which was tremendous. This year, we did apply for a Million Trees grant, which is from Alliant Energy, and it's specifically to fund volunteer tree planting. We were awarded that a grant, so we do have an extra $5,000 a year to spend on nursery stock for volunteers to plant, which is awesome, and we have the volunteer base to do it. So I'm very excited about all of that. And again, it's because the people in this community really care about trees. They really care about giving back. They do a lot of really hard work to move our urban forestry program forward, and I'm forever grateful.
Yeah, you need, I mean, the more help we get, the better we can keep things moving. And part of this award, too, also you even mentioned to me about the invasive species work as well. There was a lot of removal of that also played into the growth award. But that, again, gave you more time to work on some more stuff, right?
Exactly. And also just shed a light on, hey, we do have these invasive shrubs out there. They are taking up growing space that we really should have native trees in and plants. And so we had a lot of volunteers willing to clear some of that, and then also willing to plant in the native stuff. So it was a nice, I don't know if you want to say kill two birds with one stone, because that's maybe not the best analogy, because we don't really like to kill birds, but anyway, but it was a great way to do a couple of different projects at the same time, and it really accomplished some of our urban forestry goals.
Well, it moves your ultimate goals of moving stuff out, moving stuff in, and keeping going with the trends. That just, it helps.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So we really appreciate all of our volunteers.
Another area that you're looking at, and I had to ask you when you said this to me the first time, you're working on tree pits, and I was like, what is?
Yes.
Did you say pits?
Yes, we did. Yes. So some people call these wells pits. I call them pits. Just I don't know why, because it's fun to say.
Well, it is. Yeah, first time I've heard it, I'm like, hey, this is cool.
Yeah. So basically, and this is happening in the Terra Vista neighborhood. We have paved terraces in that neighborhood, in parts of that neighborhood, and so there is cutouts in the sidewalk, in the paved terrace where the concrete has been cut out, the gravel's been scooped out, dirt's been put in, and we're putting 26 trees in what you may call a sidewalk cutout or a tree pit or things of that nature. We're mostly planting medium-sized trees in those areas since they don't have a lot of room. Those areas need trees probably more than anywhere else. They're in front of businesses, they're in front of multifamily homes, so we really need to make sure that we do a good job with this project. So I condensed it. We have well over 100 to plant out there. I condensed it to 26 to start with, so we can get our methodology down and kind of go from there. But I'm kind of excited to try something new. We'll see how this goes, and hopefully we'll have as much success with those trees as we've had with our other ones.
I wonder if people would ask you, like, what happens with the roots in those things? Like,
They're very limited.
Specialty tree, like, how do you?
Exactly. So it's a very small space. The tree really doesn't have a whole lot of room to maneuver. So So I was very careful with species selection to select trees that can handle those really crowded conditions, can handle dry, can handle super wet, and aren't particularly demanding.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so we're somewhat limited. We'll see how it goes. I did do a variety of trees, but they're mostly in that medium size. I did try one large one just to see how that goes. We'll see. And well, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting experiment for us.
Well, speaking of experiments, one of the experiments I remember from last year was the plant work that you did with volunteers on the terrace on Post Road.
Yes.
And how did that experiment go?
100% survival.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. They did an awesome job. It was a great project, and that's a very exciting project. It was the first time that we had planted a 4-foot sidewalk. And so we had used barewood trees, so we had to hand dig. And that was a lot of firsts for us, and we did it with volunteers from DNR. They did an awesome job. We had awesome stock that was donated from Dane County, from their gravel bed. It worked out awesome. So it was a really good proof of concept, and it gives us kind of, I think, the confidence to plant more 4-foot sidewalk or 4-foot terraces.
Right. It was pretty cool to see and see everybody out there doing that, but more importantly, it just makes that roadway just really beautiful.
Right.
I mean, have those come up. So how big will those trees ultimately get then, or do they max out?
No, they're going to be, that's honey locust, that's some hackberry in there. There's a few smaller serviceberry in there as well, but those are terrace trees. I mean, they are canopy trees, so they will get big.
Wow.
That was the idea. So we'll see. They're all very hardy trees that don't need a ton of space to grow a lot. So, but they've got a lot of room, not wide, but long.
Sure.
So I'm hoping that they'll take advantage of that. And we were pretty careful with site selection. So hopefully they will grow to shade that sidewalk, because people are constantly walking on that sidewalk to the bus stop, and it was broiling. There was no shade there.
No.
And there was no shade at the bus stop. So hopefully we have made that a nicer, just made that day-to-day experience for people a little bit better when they go to and from the bus stop, among other places. But and also just the aesthetic of it as you're moving through the neighborhood, among every other positive of a tree.
Well, so I like this. So we've got the tree pits coming up, so that's kind of experiment. Now, our next kind of keep our eyes on that and see what happens with those trees. But good success story on the terrace, the trees that are there, and moving forward. This is awesome, and I really appreciate the time and sharing all the great information. If people have any questions about any of the stuff we talked about today, just curious about maybe trees in their backyard, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I know that you're a very busy person, but you're here to answer questions and educate and do what we can to help. So if people want to get in touch with you, just on any variety of questions, or
feel free to reach out.
just want to know about a tree.
That's no problem. Just give me a call, send me an email. I will get back to you as soon as I can.
All right, Anna, thank you so very much. Happy Arbor Day to you. Let's celebrate, and then let's help you get some trees planted.
Sounds awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.